turn up the sound, and then hit not on the.
The music gets
watch
me in my zone.
Watch the old headphones. The headphones are good. No. The sound on the board. When you push a button, turn up that sound up on the. You know which button that is? No, those are the microphones.
What are you talking about?
It's already up. It's already up. It's the 3 microphones,
Right,
and
yeah.
then it's that one. That's already up.
It's already up.
Yeah.
So what you
then
telling me to turn it up for?
I was just saying. I thought you knew what I was. I thought we were on the same page.
No.
You got one of these at home. I didn't know I was gonna.
You want to turn off those lights?
Yeah.
Make it really, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what we like. Oh, dude. This is episode 20 of Combat on the Couch with the Ugly Franco, but this is episode 2 of the Breakdown Podcast with Richard Barajas and the Ugly Franco. Exclusively on Patreon for a month. And then it comes out almost everywhere, goddamn. Almost everywhere, goddamn. We are on Rumble now. We are on YouTube. We are on
Rumble, huh?
Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Podcasts. We are making clips on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Threads. What's another one?
Instagram? Did you say Instagram?
Already said it. Not X. They banned me. I make a lot of clips for
This
OnlyFans.
is a shameless plug for Ugly Franco Productions, right?
Oh, come on now. Well, this is just the beginning where everybody stops listening towards about 3 minutes in. So you got to get all the important stuff out now.
Right. So Ugly Franco Productions has been my media company, one of my media companies for what?
4 months.
4 months? 3 months? About 4 months, yeah. Yeah.
Technically 4 months.
4 months.
Before
dude,
2 months before that.
And
maybe.
the amount of attention and I don't know, excitement and enthusiasm I'm getting in the gym has been awesome, and it's been off the charts. And I appreciate everything you've been doing because it's been working like a charm. And thank you. Ugly Franco
man.
Productions. There it is.
And shout out to our special producer, Danny Dizzle. He is joining us on the podcast today for a short while until he has to go bake cookies with his mom.
Exactly. Chocolate chip, though, so it's okay.
It's the holidays. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
You can't keep the kid all day.
Right. Especially not when you keep me waiting for half an hour.
Damn,
That's why he was so fucking mad. It makes so much sense, dude. It made so much I knew he was off, man. I knew he was pissed.
It's supposed to be a professional media company.
Oh. Let's edit that part out.
No, I'm just
Clip it. Clip it.
Yeah.
No, that's getting taken out. Yeah, we got to have something to edit.
Going to that, though, the media company, I feel like this is really...
Move that down. Move the arm, the swivel upper. There we go. That way. That's what we like. That's better.
This makes so much more sense.
That's
I
better.
think it's probably how it was, and then I moved it.
Yeah.
Well, you've been at it for 4 months. What have you learned?
I mean, we are going to get into the breakdown, okay? We're here to cover a fight card today, but I really appreciate this. This is a good time for me.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. What have I learned?
It's been 4 months. Like, that's not a very long time.
No.
I feel like you've learned a lot in that
Oh my gosh.
time period, so...
Oh my gosh. I mean,
I
don't even know where to start. Like, I don't even know how to start this. And what have I learned? Basically, I learned that I'm more of an entrepreneur than I thought, honestly.
Yeah.
Because up till now, I've kind of been doing things based on whims and based on, I've been saying yes to everything and then just kind of trying like a lot. And then now with this, you got to tie down and do some real work.
Yeah.
And that takes a level of consistency that I have not proven yet that I can do unless it's for like my selfishness. So having a lot of other factors into play.
Having to be a professional and deliver.
Yes.
I feel like, man,
Yeah.
that's really been a cool thing to see because I know I can depend on Josh to put out clips, and I'm not having to, I don't know, take up that much headspace on marketing, which is fucking badass.
That's what I want to do. That's the whole point. I want you to sleep tight at night, baby.
Yeah.
I want your head to hit that pillow. I want you to feel good about it. and want you to say, like, you know, I don't need to wake up at 3 a.m. and be like, you know, just because there's like some stress.
Yeah.
Because that's how it goes. You wake up at weird hours because you're like, oh, I didn't do the thing that I wanted to do and it was easy, but I just didn't do it. So, I mean, everything that we do is easy. It's social media. It's thumb work. But this is the beginning. So this is not as easy as it looks. Okay? We make it look easy because I've been at it for a while. And I've been a dork for my whole life. So you can't coach dorkness, right?
That's just unique, man.
That's just really unique. That's a personality type. I mean, some dudes
That's
were...
a gift, right?
Yeah. Some
or
dudes,
a curse.
Well... But I mean, some dudes were meant to play football. That's what they were made to do, and it's obvious. They don't... You Ray Lewis? Oh, yeah. You think that guy was meant for anything else except for busting skulls? No. He was made to be an absolute monster. He's made to be a terror to other human beings, to other males. He's meant to make other alpha males feel like they're children. That's what he did. All pro running backs. Children. Okay?
So you're
I was
saying
made
you're
to do
like
this.
You're like Ray Lewis.
This is my field, baby.
Damn.
Welcome to it.
We gotta clip that. We gotta clip that.
Oh gosh. But
but going back to that.
but I wouldn't have a field. This is a good field.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis has played on bad fields. I've played on a lot of fields, but this is a good field. So I like the game, you know. I like this game, and this is one of my favorite fields to play the game on, if you get me.
Yeah, and the cool thing that I've seen is just the consistency and the output. There's just been consistent high output marketing across the board, and it's just obviously growing from your passion to do a podcast and figuring out how to do that to get paid to do it. And it's only been 4 months, dude, and I feel like shit, there's been a lot of growth. I mean, a lot of growth on my end too, I'm learning too, but
that's what's been the most affirming thing for me in this, seeing that it's working.
yeah.
Like knowing that it's actually working. And it was like starting just wanting to do a podcast and do it for some money to how do we grow now 2 businesses that are involved because I started an LLC. Mm-hmm. So everything that goes into that, getting the web page up, which is up, uglyfranco.com, go to it. Figuring stuff out there all the time. We're blogging, all that stuff. But like that's something that I wasn't as like fervently chasing because there was no need. Right. Now I'm trying to grow someone else's business. What do I need to do to make sure that that happens?
You got to grow yourself.
There's a lot that you got to do. You can't just put out the clips. Putting out the clips is you know.
Well, that's what Dan's here for too, right?
Dan is here.
Besides beating you up for the money.
Dan is here.
And sandwiches.
I help where I can.
Dang.
Dan helps where he can.
Well, hopefully.
I put him on the clips kind of a little bit.
I mean, dude, if you go to Danny Dude Dizzle on Spotify and look at the Alicia podcast, I think that one was one where you had both of the cameras facing you and her, and you flipped them both back every time somebody else was talking, almost on the spot. Sometimes it was, I mean, it's a lot to do. I've never done that because right here. So, you know, I'm just never going to spend the time to do that.
Right.
Ever. So he did that, and I was like, man, you know, who else is around here doing that? Nobody. Mm-hmm. And if they are, I can't afford them. So,
no, there's no one out there, but there isn't anybody out here doing it. And it's just,
I mean, it's me and him and a couple other people, and, you know.
Well, editing like that.
Mm-hmm. And
you guys really, if you think about it, have a monopoly on the market if you really wanted to pursue it.
Well,
no one else in town.
Well, I mean, Good Life Small Business, shout out to him, though.
I mean, he's doing a different thing, though.
He is doing a different thing.
He's doing a different thing. He's a good dude, by the way.
Oh, he's a good dude. We need to have him on the pod, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Can I go on his pod? Can we go on your pod, bro? Can I be on your pod? Can you come on my pod?
I'll message
it's a good time.
And I'll try to set that up. He's a good dude.
That's good.
You guys are just doing different things, though. And
Well, I have a business now, so I'm a small business. I could go on. Before I couldn't go on.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
I'm the one man small business that you don't want to talk to.
I was saying too, though, like you guys have a monopoly in carny, but even in the state of Nebraska, who's doing it?
That I don't know. Who is?
No one.
I don't know though. I haven't looked at the Omaha pool at all. I mean, there's got to be more podcasts.
We're really going in this different direction, but if you really think about it, I mean, it's just a market that has been virtually uncharted, like a marketing social media company in Nebraska. There isn't one.
Started off of podcasting.
I guess Score.
Started off of podcasting.
But
though.
even podcasting should be definitely a staple.
Yeah. No, it is. There's no business without it.
Yeah.
I don't have any clips without it.
Right.
I don't want to come into another business and film without the podcast being involved. So it's like a very specific thing that we're doing.
I'm feeling like,
and it's really fun.
Even podcasting should be a staple of any business.
Oh,
you know,
I mean, it's like the one-on-one that you don't get to have with your That's how I kind of think of it. When I come in with like, when you give me somebody and then I get to talk to them one-on-one, it's like a one-on-one that you maybe haven't been able to have for 5 weeks or whatever and you haven't even thought about it like that. You're just like, hey, good podcast.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like, that was insightful for me because Josh is asking good questions of them, or they're telling, something good that they're experiencing. And that's like a good one-on-one moment for people. That's one way to look at it. If like as a business looking to say like, why do I want to talk to them? Why do I want to have a conversation with them? Gary Vee, most of his day is 15-minute meetings, 30-minute meetings. It's just meetings all day. Everybody in the building, wherever he's at. It's the one-on-one that is extremely important. When you can do that on this level and then have like the ability to listen back to it. I mean, think for yourself. I mean, that could be good.
It is what human beings are all about, man. We're we're a communal being. We need to have a community around us. How do you do that? You build relationships. How do you do that? You communicate. You talk.
Communicate.
And I think the biggest thing right now in this era that we're in, I think getting to know somebody intimately is how you should be selling your business.
Yes.
So even though I don't like necessarily being on a podcast, it's the best way for people to get to know me, market my business, and then also get to know, and another way for me to get to know the people that are in the business. So it's been cool to hear all the podcasts and just get to know everybody a little bit better. People that I'd like to get in the podcast here soon would be Scott Noctigal. I'd like to hear some of his thoughts on random things.
Shout out to him. He was getting help on his truck the other day, and he went up to my boy Seth Soderlin up at Platte Valley. I've known Seth for like my whole life almost. We grew up in Lex. Seth hits me up like, yo, some dude just came into Platte Valley, and what's he listening to on his truck? I was like, there's no way he's listening to it if he doesn't go to the gym. He was like, yeah, he goes to the gym. I was like, shout out to Scott Noctigal.
Hey, that's badass.
Made me feel good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool too because I feel like we are building an even tighter community when they get to listen to each other and get to know each other better. So it's just so beneficial in so many different ways. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Other guys, Rudy and Jeremy, want to get those brothers on here too.
Yeah, way back when I was working at Domino's night shift, and they would come through all the time after practice like, yo, I need to like just get something,
Yeah.
I was always like, dude, let's do a podcast before, but we hadn't showed up to the gym yet. So now we're at the gym. It's got to happen.
Oh, I'd love to hear their mentality in fighting and training, and then they're obviously very close brothers. So I'd love to hear just more about who they are. I feel like I know them, but I don't really know them. So
I feel like they do have a very interesting relationship because don't they train here kind of independent?
So yeah, back when I started implementing standards, they couldn't make it all the time. Their bodies were kind of busted up because they work so much.
Yeah. They're hustlers for real.
They're workaholics, man. So
guys, look, number 17, we gotta get him. All right, you can't get him. You're not in the game. You're too slow. You gotta come out.
That sounds like an impersonation Jose makes. I'll have him do it, but
yeah.
He's like, Jose dumb. Jose fight. That's pretty funny when he talks about it. But let's switch gears up and
well, no, what were you saying before we were switching the camera? Because I wanted
to Jeremy and Rudy?
Yeah, listening to Yeah,
I was just saying that
listening to more people.
I feel like I've known them for a long time.
Yeah.
I just don't really know them.
Right. And that's what the podcast does. You've known them. I mean, how many times have I walked into a podcast and I've known people for years?
Right.
I showed up to Carney and they're here and we just sit down to do a podcast last week or whatever. Like, you know them, but you don't really know them if you don't spend time with them. You like their Facebook page because it's cool and you know them, but you've never sat down and talked to them like this.
Right.
And it's not, you don't have to talk about something serious either. You can just sit down and talk.
Yeah.
So that's what the podcast has going for it, and it's cool, and I appreciate everything. I like this. But the breakdown is what we're here to talk about, okay?
Yeah. Segue.
You've been pumping out some content on the Patreon.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Just been...
How many did you release since the last podcast we did? 6? 8?
Yeah, probably somewhere in there. I'm just trying to... It's not the highest quality content in regards to editing. There's no editing going on. And if you've been watching those, which there's probably nobody watching them right now.
Well...
Except for maybe one or two of my fighters. So, Dan, I started this Patreon with the thought in mind of I'm going to do film study, but I want to share my film study with my fight team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been the whole premise behind the Patreon. And then the podcasting and everything is kind of seeing how much we can get out of this Patreon page. But when we... So there's like 20 members on the Patreon page. It's not huge, but
Right.
a lot of those guys are on my fight team. So what I've been doing is just pumping out as much content as I can. Because what I'm trying to do is watch fights in slow motion just to learn and understand like concepts of fighting, have a deeper understanding of concepts and then how do I implement that into our training? Because if you look at, this is an idea I've been throwing around with people. If you look at UFC, you know how people say, do you fight UFC? A lot of the fighters will get that. You fight UFC? Like,
yeah.
No, it's MMA.
It's not a thing. Yeah.
But it is a thing.
It's like, do you speak Mexican?
Right.
You speak Spanish?
But I'm actually pushing back against that now because obviously ignorant people say that, but it's also this. Like, the UFC is a brand in and of itself, and the fighting that happens in the UFC is specific to the UFC. So there's a different brand of fighting that's going on there. Where people often will most often make the mistake of thinking is this. I will train my jiu-jitsu, my wrestling, my kickboxing, and my boxing, and then mix it all together, and that's MMA, mixed martial arts. Really, that's not what's happening in the UFC. The UFC is it's a sport of its own. So it's like you're not going to go train jiu-jitsu over here, do over here, and do this, and then put it all together and have good success. Because some guy that's just training UFC is going to beat you. Because most likely the fight's going to take place on the wall. Most likely the fight's going to take place out in the open, and if you don't know how to check a kick, you're going to get kicked in the leg. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you were just training boxing, not going to work. Mm-hmm. If you were just training jiu-jitsu and you didn't ever train wrestling, you're not going to take the guy down. So there is an idea emerging throughout the Patreon where I feel like if I can just create a shortcut and how to train specifically just the skills and techniques, the cardio, all of it that's required to compete at the highest level of the UFC. It's called fighting UFC. So these guys we'll cut out all the fat of training jiu-jitsu, training wrestling, training boxing, and we're just going to train on specifically what it is that's working at the highest level. And that's what the idea is to kind of blow back at that idea is, well, we're going to train UFC. You know what I mean? So it's kind of...
I get it.
Did I lose you guys?
I get it.
Dan,
No.
did I lose you, Dan?
That literally
I got
made
you.
sense. That literally made sense.
Because you go and you watch like amateur fights in MMA, and it's not like it is in the UFC. It's definitely different.
Different. Oh, and that's another thing too. So I've been watching high level kickboxing matches, and then I'll go and watch our fights, our amateur fights, and there's obvious disparity in skill sets and understanding. And okay, well, all we have to do is implement this concept to our training. All of a sudden, you see a huge change. But yeah, and then what you see a lot of in the UFC still that doesn't work at the highest levels. You're talking about the top tier guys. They don't pull guard. So, that's a jiu-jitsu thing, right? Well, I'm still seeing at the high, like in the top 10 guys that are pulling guard. What happens to them when they crack the top 5? Well, they get obliterated. You're not going to crack the top 5 by pulling guard still. You're gonna get exposed. So if you start training that way now, you can bypass a lot of the shit that's going on and make it right into the top of the UFC. So that's
because you're a better overall fighter.
Because you're better at UFC. Not necessarily a better overall fighter. Because if you're a better overall fighter, that means you're really good at jiu-jitsu. You're really good at boxing. You're really good at wrestling. Kickboxing. You don't need to be good at all those things. You have to have a base level of fundamental understanding of each one and just be fundamentally sound. If you bring it back to fundamentals, you're fundamentally sound.
I like that.
You're going to really have a big advantage over a lot of people. Now,
that simplifies it down. Because when the fighter's not thinking, they can fight.
Right. Now you just have to master basic principles and fundamentals. You do that, you can compete at a very high level. Now, there's guys, obviously, that have wrestled D1 and, this and that, those guys are special kinds of athletes.
You're going to have the freaks. You're going to have the freaks.
Those guys are also in the UFC, so, good luck when you fight those guys.
Yeah, good luck.
But those are the challenges we want, too, We're not in here just to fight on the regional circuit and call it good.
I think you're cool.
Yeah.
It's like John Jones. He's not, elite at really anything, but he never loses because he fights UFC.
Because he fights UFC.
Yeah.
That's...
Dang, dude, there we go. That's why Dan's here also, because he's a G, okay?
So a lot of guys, still to this day, don't really train their wrestling. They're jiu-jitsu oriented guys, but John Jones has a decent wrestling background, and he's able to take down Daniel Cormier, who's an Olympic level wrestler.
Right.
So that's a really good example, because Daniel Cormier, who's an elite wrestler, got taken down multiple times by John Jones. Where? On the wall. Why is the wall so important? It distinguishes UFC from MMA.
How?
Yeah.
Explain more how the wall. I've never heard that before. How does the wall make a difference between?
Because a lot of fights are being determined by wall grappling, cage grappling. So you'll put someone on the wall and you'll stall out. You'll knee them. You'll stomp their toe, whatever. You'll rack up these points. But also, if you don't know how to wrestle on the wall, it really cancels out high-level wrestling. So if a high-level wrestler is able to get taken down by a junior college wrestler on the wall, which is what happened in the Daniel Cormier-John Jones fight, what was different? Well, it's the wall. The wall is what allowed him to take him down. And so it's a sport all of its own. It's a different thing. It's not all different, but it is different. So you do have to learn jiu-jitsu and wrestling, all these things, but you can't spend too much time in each discipline. You have to figure out the fundamentals, the most important things.
And then you can still get knocked out too.
Yeah. That's why it's the best fucking sport. It's the best fucking sport.
And you can spend so much time thinking all that, and then you could just go in and get knocked out.
Yeah.
You could be too slow for a second.
Zig when you should have zagged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about the sport. I mean, if you ever watch someone fight, you went to the fights here in Kearney.
Yeah.
How emotionally invested you are in the situation. These people are really putting themselves in harm's way. It's just fucking awesome.
The first time that it started flying, I was, they made it real.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's my friend.
Yeah.
Hey, stop doing that to my friend.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, my friend. Hey, friend, you're kind of cool. You're a badass. Yeah. He's actually giving it back. You're like, this is real?
Yeah.
You can do this? I'm a bouncer at a bar. Usually I have to break something up, but this is normal. This is how it's supposed to be. It's the best sport, dude. It's the best sport. I don't care. Jiu-jitsu is huge right now. Did you see? Dude. I think Alex shared it on his story. Alex Weaver shared it on his story. He was just like, what did he say? The biggest no-gi in Texas?
The biggest no-gi registration for IBJJF, I think.
Yeah.
Texas.
That's wild.
So jiu-jitsu is constantly growing.
It feels like there's going to be a lot of people looking for jiu-jitsu podcasts, huh? Maybe we should just keep going.
I mean, yeah. I'm a good grappler. I've been doing it for long enough. I'm a good grappler. There's some guys out there that are really fucking good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have
like a
really
16-year-old or something. That's
the place to talk on grappling. I have enough experience to know what's what, but definitely MMA is where I feel true grappling is displayed, because you cannot So, and this is really nerdy talk, so let me know if I bore you guys. But
I think that's kind of a little bit of the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
Let it out. This is your time.
In Taekwondo or all these other traditional martial arts, you guys see these guys that are kind of point fighting karate. They're not really fighting, right? You know, they're point fighting.
What's point fighting?
Point fighting is like if I touch you, I score a point.
Oh, yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, so
I don't like watching that kind of stuff.
In the Olympics, if you do Taekwondo and you knock someone out, you can get disqualified.
Right, yeah, you're not supposed to do it.
You're not supposed to knock someone out.
And that is the healthier sport, by the way.
It's not fighting, though. It's
not fighting. It's not fighting.
How are you going to learn to fight when, you know? So jiu-jitsu has kind of become that in the sense where you're not going to pull, you're going to sit your butt in a live situation and pull guard and fight somebody.
Right.
And now, granted, there's some really good grapplers out there. They'll destroy your legs before you know what happened, but that's not real fighting, you know? And I think every sport gets over-specialized, and that's why the MMA is so important. It's like, okay, this is just a fight. So whatever works, you know? So, and I love that idea more than I do the other traditional ideas, I guess.
I agree. I like the idea of two warriors going at it.
Yeah.
And we need that to set the standard.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you fight? 5 rounds.
And I would say wrestling's the closest thing
That's
to
fighting,
like
okay.
a true, like, just taking a martial art and making a sport. Wrestling is that. And jiu-jitsu is kind of there too, but because they're doing more wrestling now. But if you look at the highest level of Olympic wrestling, those guys could kill somebody.
Yeah.
They could kill somebody.
Yeah, Jordan Burroughs can murder anyone.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. Speaking of grapplers at the elite, we've got the Dariush and
The fight card. Yeah. So
I've heard they're really good grapplers. I've heard it's going to be all well around. It's just going to be a really good fight because you don't know what to expect from both of them.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. They can just take it any way they want, but they're really good at grappling, both of them. But the Dariush guy is supposed to be like better.
So, Dan, how much fights do you watch? You watch UFC fights at all?
I watch like the main ones at B-dubs.
B-dubs. Okay, so this will be a main one at B-dubs for sure.
Yeah, it'll be on.
Yeah, you got to watch it. So I've been breaking down both these guys, Sarukian and Dariush, right? So this is a fight I definitely want to watch and analyze. So I want to give my brief analysis on this because I've been doing some field study on both these guys. Sarukian is the younger guy. He's 26, 27? I don't know. I'm looking at my phone, but I don't have that information. He's ranked number 8, and Dariush is ranked number 4, but Dariush is 34, 35, and Sarukian's 26. So the younger guy,
dang, almost 10-year difference.
Yeah, the younger guy usually is going to have the advantage. I think it's a 5-round fight since it's the main event. The younger guy's going to have the advantage in that scenario. Sarukian likes to wrestle, but he's not very confident. I feel like there's times in his fights where he lacks the confidence to finish a shot or to do what he needs to do in the moment. He tries to listen to his coaches, but he'll make stupid mistakes because he's trying to listen because he doesn't have the confidence to do whatever he thinks he should be doing. He relies heavily on being coached. Dariush does really good. He's a vet. He's a savvy vet. He doesn't have any problems defending a shot or getting up right away or anything like that. So what I think this is going to turn into is going to be a war by round 4 and 5. This is going to be one of the most underrated fight cards you'll see, especially if you like grappling. The grappling in this is going to be fucking awesome. But what I see happening is Sarukian throwing a lot of kicks, Dariush countering, going to the top with his boxing to the head, maybe dropping Sarukian trying to wrestle with Dariush scrambling, and then we talk about this in one of my breakdowns where he's pressuring into the wall and fighting the hands. I don't think Sarukian's going to have any tools to hold Dariush down. So it's going to turn into a striking match, and Sarukian is not the better striker. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. He's got the head games going on. And Dariush being a southpaw, I think he drops him with the left hand and maybe finishes the fight later on in the 4th or 5th round.
You think he's going to throw the young fellow off with that left hand, being a lefty?
Yeah, but, dude, his fighting, 5 rounds, favors the young guy. You're 34. Ugh.
That's old, dude.
That's old, man. That's pretty
That's
old.
old as balls.
Older. You're
It's almost old as balls. To be fighting, to be rolling around fighting, you're almost old as balls.
He's a fucking beast, though. That's why he's a beast. He's a fucking beast. But damn, that's pretty old. And he hasn't slowed down yet in his career. This might be the first fight where you're starting to see, okay.
We might see something here.
Yeah.
We could see something, or we could still see old dogs know how to play.
That's right. I'm
still
going
play
for
fetch.
Beneil because Beneil's a fucking badass. He's just a little old. So I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like me and you fighting right now. How? Because you're not 34 though.
I'm 35. But I beat the shit out of you, dude.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. There's no way.
I'll fuck with you, dude. Well, I would.
No way. There's no way I would. Yeah, no, I'd die. I'd die.
No, but yeah, it'd be very similar, dude.
That's. I mean, that like just the age difference. That's me and you fighting.
Yeah.
Like that's. You know, but those guys. I don't know. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not fighting.
The craziest thing is this is a fucking top-rated fight at lightweight. So, Beneil's never fought for the title. If he doesn't win this one, he'll never fight for the title.
Oh,
So it's
there's a lot on the line here. Huh?
Yeah, there's a lot on the line. And Sarukian, he's young. He's kind of been here before and fallen short. He'll be here again, I think. He'll fall short. He's just not an elite mind. Like some guys are dogs. Even when it all's on the line, they're gonna fight hard and be that dog. He just kind of has been back and forth on that. I feel like he's had a couple of good fights he should have won. So,
should we do it feels like we should do a fight companion on that, dude. It feels like we should watch that fight, just not film the fight, and then just film us. Just have the laptop up.
I'm down.
Set the laptop up. Bring in a TV or something, and HDMI the TV to the thing, and
I'd
then
be down just for that fight. That'd be cool.
Just for that, yeah. Because you've been going over them.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd say that if you didn't say that you've been going over them. I think that would be a really good opportunity. Plus, it's a good time. It's like a fight companion,
Yeah, I'd be down. So that's the fights like this. I talked about it before at the lightweight division. That's the most skilled and talented and packed division. These fights kind of set the tone. You'll see the ways these guys defend or some strategies that they'll implement, and then what happens, just like the NFL, everybody else copies it. Oh, that worked?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do that then. So
Yeah.
that's something that's just in human nature too. You're going to see this fight, I feel like, affect a lot of the up-and-coming fights. A lot of these guys are already kind of doing the same techniques. They're already fighting UFC. You know what I mean? So it's...
Well, you're adapting, Adapt or overcome.
Mm-hmm.
To
exactly
overcome.
right. Exactly right. If you're not adapting, you'll be left behind. So
Yeah. Interesting. So you don't think I can go into I'm fast, man. All right, I'm telling you, I'm fast. You don't think I can go into a fight and just be like, yo, I'm the fastest, and I don't need to know how to try UFC. I don't need to know how to do that. I'm fast, dude. I'm gonna knock him out. He's not gonna be able to tackle me because I'm too fast. Like that mentality. You don't think that mentality will go?
You'd die. First round.
But I'm fast, man. I'm fast.
But these people get punched for a living every day.
Well, you can't punch what you can't catch.
what if someone was just as fast?
They'll catch you.
See, this is the problem. This is the every guy going into, oh, dude, I can fight. I'm next level, bro.
Yeah.
This is what you're gonna get met with.
There's a lot.
It's you're a child. It's you're a child. That's what it is.
No, I'll say this.
Grow up.
There's some physical freaks out there that you just don't ever want to fight. And I think the thing I've learned as I've trained over the years is like, okay, don't fuck with that guy because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah, for real.
So, like, Scott Noctegal, the most unassuming guy, he looks like Jeff Gordon.
Literally looks like Jeff Gordon.
That guy will wreck somebody.
Yeah, he's
a monster.
He's an absolute monster. Yeah, he's
a
comfortable
monster, man.
comfortable on his ass. I've seen him. I've watched him. He's comfortable on his back.
But
on top.
he also wrestles, and he's
Yeah.
an athlete, and
Yeah.
he's strong.
No, yeah.
And he doesn't get tired.
Super strong. He's ripped.
He's
ripped. He's like absolutely ripped. Like not even like a little bit like, oh man, like you're keeping it tight. He's freaking ripped.
Let's cut that out. We can't give him too many compliments on this, all right?
Hey, man, I'm gay for Scott Noctical. We'll be right back.
No, but he keeps himself in shape. But yeah, we'll get him on the podcast. But that's definitely the biggest thing I've learned through fighting over the years is like, all right, you don't know who you're talking to half the time. Some of these guys look like average Joes, but they'll be a freak, just a freak of nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll be able to pick you up and throw you across the room.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, me and JB were at Walmart yesterday. We just met it. We ran into each other, and we went on like a little mini trip. That's another guy that you don't want to mess with him, dude. I mean,
JB's a super nice guy.
Oh, so nice.
He's a great athlete though. The guy's
if he gets his hands on you.
Scott Noctical.
Yeah, no, he's more. He's jacked.
Yeah, he's jacked.
He's got the 22s. You know what I'm saying? Big biceps.
Yeah, he played college football and Scott he did pole vaulting, D1 pole vaulting. So that's some great athletes here.
Yeah, pole vaulters are the best athletes.
Yeah, that's what
you have to be athletic, fast, and upside down. Mm-hmm. That's the best world athlete in the world.
Yeah, that's what.
No question. The control you have to have on your body while being upside down, getting over that pole. Your body is this. That's not. You never have to do that ever. You're not. How many times are you touching your toes? You're touching your toes in the air, 20 feet up. Best athletes in the world.
Yeah, I believe. After grappling Scotty, I'm like, yeah, that's probably true.
Those are the dudes that could just pick a thing, and that's what they
would have been really good at it.
Anything. Yeah. They're the best rock climbers. Their hands are so strong. Forearms are freaking fast, bro. You so fast. Well, I did track in school, and they were like, Josh, you got to be a pole vaulter. And I was always scared. But the athletes that did pole vault, I was always like, oh, shit. He's actually better than me at being an athlete, and I'm the best track athlete on the team. I'm the number one guy.
Scared. I like it.
Scared. Bro, yeah. I was scared. Yeah, I was scared. I was so fast. I thought I was going to break the pole if I hit it that fast. I was going to stab myself if I ran at it that fast. No way. So a little bit, I have like this, yeah, dude, I look up to pole vaulters like so much because they're better than me.
They're athletes, dude.
They're better, yeah.
Hey, another person that was a pole vaulter is Dan Lancer. Hopefully we'll get him.
Oh, makes sense.
We'll get him on the podcast too.
Yeah, he will.
Scotty was one of his coaches.
Really?
Yeah. Small world.
Scotty, you old as balls, huh? Oh God. What time are we at, Dan?
For the actual time or the podcast?
Yeah, the podcast.
40 minutes.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
So that's my pick on the Sarukian fight. I'm going for Beneil.
So you think he could drop him? He's gonna drop the young man, and then is he gonna go into the grappling right after that, or is
he's not.
Drop him?
Beneil doesn't. He uses his grappling defensively only. Armand shoots a lot of shitty shots. He'll get on a lot of fucking double legs on his knees. He'll sit there for a little bit. He just hasn't. He hasn't put it all together. You know, he's a good wrestler. He's a good kickboxer. He just hasn't put it all together. But he's like so talented. I don't know. The only thing holding him back is his own mind. I feel like he should be like number 2 right now.
Maybe when he listens to this podcast, it'll get to him.
Yeah.
Take some advice, huh?
He's a stud, dude. He is a stud. I just don't know how he's losing some of these fights. He did lose against Islam, and I was like, all right, it's Islam.
He's one of the best.
That was a close fight. But then he fought against Gamrot, and Gamrot beat him. And I thought Gamrot's good, but I thought he was better than Gamrot. And that's another guy I've been breaking down a lot too. So it's like that division is just so packed with talent. So and it's easy if you're just not there mentally for another guy just to edge you out a little bit. And I think that's what's happening with him. Another fight. There's a couple of fights on that card. Jalen Turner versus Bobby Green. Do you guys watch? You guys don't know, huh?
I'm trying my best to keep up.
That's right. That's good. That's good. Bobby Green just knocked out Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson is like an up-and-coming stud that used to train out of here in Nebraska. He moved to Florida. And Grant Dawson is probably going to be either a title contender or a champion in sometime in his career. But Bobby Green, being 37, just knocked that dude out. and he's fighting Jalen Turner. That's going to be a great fight. This is actually be a stat card, so we do need to watch it somewhere. Jalen Turner broke Dan Hooker's hand in an epic fucking firefight. This is going to be a showdown. This is going to be a brawl. And I don't know who's going to win this one. Bobby Green is 37 years old, like I said. Old guy, so I'm always pulling for the old guys. Jalen Turner is a young, up-and-coming, like, hard-hitting dude. That's going to be a interesting fight. I think I got Bobby Green because I think he's a little more skilled. He does a little bit more with his hands. He's a little bit more crafty. I think he's going to put it on Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is an athlete, though. Explosive, hits hard. And then the last fight I really want to talk about is Rob Font versus Devison Figueiredo. And Devison's 37, I think also. A lot of these guys are old, man. And Rob Font, I think, is in his 30s. But Rob Font has
some inspiring fights, my goodness.
There's some good ones. Devison's fighting at 35. He used to be the 25-pound champion. He went up in weight. Now he's fighting, what is he? A number 8 ranked guy. So that's going to be an interesting fight. I don't know how Figueiredo's ranked number 2 when he just went up to this weight. But Figueiredo's ranked number 2. I would love to do a breakdown on that because I'm a nerd about fighting. Rob Font has a beautiful jab. He sets everything up off his jab. Figueiredo's going up in weight. He's not the best boxer. He's a good striker. I think the guy with the better jab's going to win that fight, and I think Rob Font's going to knock him out. And Figueiredo's never been knocked out. So if that happens, I should bet on fights, right? So that's kind of all I wanted to talk about regarding fights. And, yeah, hopefully we can do a fight campaign and go from
I
there.
think that would be really good for us to do.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really interesting piece of content to try to make clips on, and then also to sit and do for the 2 hours. Like that's a good time spent. Way more like a chilling time.
Yeah. And
way more like
I'm
a
obviously
chilling
going to
time.
be having a great time because I love watching fights, so it'll be a good time.
I mean, if you watch the Fight Companions with Joe Rogan and Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub and Tom, Will Sasso and whoever else they have on that thing, it's just like they're drinking, eating chips. There's a bunch of things going on. They take mushrooms. Like they're doing, there's a lot going on. So it's not so much there's not a lot of questions being asked. It's more like we're here to be dudes and talk about the fight.
Yeah.
You're here to watch the game. So that's like a very fun vibe podcast that would be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's get more of the crew in there then.
Well, yeah. We need we just got to find a space.
Battery
How does
died,
that
too.
even happen? The battery's dead on the camera?
Yeah, but I stopped the clip as soon as it said low battery this time, so it for sure saved.
You're the man. Look at this guy. This is another reason why we got to have a producer. This whole thing that we're doing just needs to freaking elevate, and then we're going to be really having a lot of fun.
And we wouldn't be able to do it without you pushing that button.
I got
Wouldn't
you.
be able to do it without
One
you pushing
button.
that
I got you.
That's right. And that's the one, son. I'll be interested to listen to how that sounds on that mic, too.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, that mic does a good job. My
Better
deity
be
mic
good.
does a good job on that too.
Right? I mean, I bet that one's just fine.
That's what I used to do the little mini series thing.
Yeah.
If you have time, you should check that out, Dan.
I will for sure.
Yeah, go to Carney Combat Sports YouTube. It's a good time.
I got you.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
We do need to be filming more practice.
I filmed it, edited it myself, and I did it all myself. It's not the best, but it's not bad. I think you'd be entertained at the very least.
I'll watch it. I got you.
They're good videos.
Yeah.
They're good videos. That's what we want to put out here. Good videos. Good
Yeah.
videos. Good fighters.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, there's a little documentary on there that I put out of our fight team getting ready for some fights back last year. Yeah, over a year ago now.
What if we just documented like 2 days a week of practice? An hour each week, just the fight team film for an hour or an hour and a half, two times a week.
I mean, that'd be plenty.
If they could all look as cool as the one that you made. If I could figure that out. If we could figure that out.
I mean, all I did was film it on my A64 on the camera that we're using here. So
right, but with the editing and stuff.
the editing's easy. It's just time consuming.
Do it. Yeah.
The thing is, I have what's it called?
The gimbal.
The gimbal.
Mhm.
I didn't use the gimbal for the the shots.
Well, that's more for like movement. That thing is more for like movement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of my shots on that, I'm moving in, filming them spar and grapple. So it would have been way cooler to have the gimbal on that and make it better. But yeah, it's just really time consuming, especially if you do film 2 hours every week. I mean, that's fucking.
That's why this editor changed a lot.
Through.
This editor changed a lot.
Yeah.
It really elevated us. It really took it up.
Why is that?
Made it faster.
How? It uses AI?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, we're in the future, I guess.
Yes, we are.
Well, if that's the case, dude, fuck.
That's why I even brought it up. Before it was always like, we're just doing podcasts and that's it. Now we can probably film 2 days a week of practice and be putting out that content on Carney Combat Sports YouTube. So we're making the docuseries every single week. It's just
cool.
Every single week now.
That'd be super cool.
And that's the YouTube channel on Carney Combat Sports, because the Patreon is this. And then if you want to throw those videos up on the Patreon, yeah, but that's more for YouTube. This is this is the right way to do it. Make the practices the vlogs of practice, and then make these for Patreon, Rumble, things like that. But the way that we do it now is very strategic. Things are released like days and weeks in like
organized fashion, systemic,
yes,
strategized.
Yep. I don't even know how to describe it, but yes. Yep. Organized, systemic, mobile, hostile, agile.
Yeah, we need that.
Will you
that
ever
needs to be
quit?
That needs to be the intro to the breakdown.
Well, that's remember the Titans, so I can't steal it.
Yeah, you can. You just did, dude.
Denzel Washington will take me out, bro. He's the equalizer.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Dude, yeah, I think
Strong side.
Oh, dude, yeah. Sunshine.
Strong side, weak side.
Man, dude, yeah, that makes me cry.
I haven't seen that movie in over a decade. And
let's watch it and cry together.
Yeah, I'm done.
Eat some popcorn, cry.
Only
Something about
only if Dan's there.
I was gonna say, can I come? Need a good cry.
Dude, this has been another episode of the Breakdown Podcast and Combat on the Couch with the Ugly Franco, all in one. We're just releasing it at a separate time, so you can call it two different things. But it's really fun to do this Patreon. When we do it now, do it like the Patreon and then have a bunch of things come out and then put it out later. I really like it. It's fun.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And, I think I wouldn't mind doing a podcast myself regularly, so I guess this is a good way to doing it too. Mm-hmm. Just getting myself more practice.
Yeah.
Talking to the microphone, looking at Dan, trying to gauge his reaction. All right.
Right? It's nice to have. I really like having someone here.
Yeah.
I really like having someone here. Just, I mean, if we even talk to you at all, yeah. But if we don't, it's nice to have a reaction of, something.
It's not just empty darkness.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool too, though.
Nice. That is cool. Yeah.
I mean, it gives it a more, I don't know.
We've got one light, one camera, one board, 3 mics, and it's just us. It just feels. Yeah, it just feels good. Feels good, man. The one light, it's like, just boom, That could be a clip right there. Just the darkness and then just the boom.
Oh, yeah.
Just the light on, the light switch on. Just the, and then just the, combat on the couch.
When are we going to get Dan on the couch?
when he doesn't go to Quintana.
Don't say that.
Just like that.
Got it.
Weren't you just trying to get Blake on the pod? Weren't you just talking about I was trying to get Blake on the pod.
Yeah, we are trying to get Blake on the pod. Oh, jeez.
I'm going to tell him.
Don't tell him, dude. Don't tell him, bro. Come on. Be a real one. Why would you do that, man?
It's a trap, Blake.
Why would you do? Hey, don't do that, bro.
We're going to fuck you up. Got the
We
fight
didn't
team
even
waiting
touch
behind
you,
the
bro.
curtain.
We didn't even touch you, bro. Not even once. Not unless you asked us to, because you did earlier. But we didn't touch you unless you wanted us to.
But later, though. After this. Y'all said I have to go spar with you guys after this.
Just me.
Oh, that's easy.
Don't you talk to me like that.
That's an easy win.
Don't.
Easy work. He's calling
Easy
you. Dude.
work.
Hey. You lower your tone of voice when you talk to me like that.
Easy win. You don't even have to wear gloves.
Hey.
Or head.
Hey.
I won't wear headgear.
Hey, dude. I'll knock that mustache clean. I'll knock the mustache into your eyebrows, son. You done flustered me.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Right after this.
I'm
You can't
ready.
leave.
I'm ready.
That's your payment, too.
Let's go right now.
Some learning. Some hard learning you never had.
He's still pissed because you made him wait, dude.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah, I got a lot of built up frustration I can take out on you.
20 minutes? Damn, son.
I know. I felt so bad. I was like, I sent it, felt good, and then realized it didn't send a couple minutes later after I got out of the shower. So it was like, oh, no.
Joshy.
And then he called me on Snapchat as I'm trying to get straight talk.
So wait. You took a shower, and that's why you were late?
Before I do anything, I take showers. So I look good.
So you couldn't take your shower earlier in the day? Wait. What time did you wake up?
All right, guys. We've had a great time on episodes 2. I woke up late, dude. I woke up at 10, and then I got out of bed at 10:05.
Why are you so angry, man?
Because I hate when I get exposed for not being a hustler, okay? Sometimes I'm lazy, and it's true. And when I get found out for it, it pisses me off.
Why are you pointing at the camera? It's dead.
All right, I'm out.
All right, that's a good place to end, though.
That's anything like that.
Scott knocked the goals. The next podcast, hopefully, the Grijalva.
Really? Are you serious?
Hold up.
Yeah.
Say that again. Say that again because I stopped it, but I just started it again.
Are you?
Because you got up like it was over, so I was like, cool.
Stopped what?
The podcast recording. I just restarted it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, say it again. Yeah, we can put. Yeah, it's fine.
Scott knocked the goals coming up, and the Grijalva brothers, hopefully, and then maybe Bryce Abbey again. I'd like to get him on a series of weight cutting tips for athletes.
Nice.
Because a lot of these guys cut weight for fights and whatnot. And
Yeah,
then,
it's a valuable skill to know. You can do it right. You can do it wrong, and you can do it right. You really hurt yourself.
Well, he's got talking about a PhD guy going through some of the stuff, and it's just really a valuable insight. Besides that, we got fights coming up in February, so we got a ways away. We'll start our 8-week training camp next week, and Jose will be going out there to defend his belt at FAC. So that's all we got right now.
Nice.
Hopefully, we'll be moving to Omaha in the coming years and expanding our territory.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I got nothing. What about you, Dan?
Chilling.
He's chilling. All right.
Yeah. So you already know what I got going on. Everything. And we're right here at Kearney Combat Sports. So if you want to know about it, show up, son.